In her recent conversation on the Chase Jarvis Live show, Elizabeth Gilbert talked about the role that learning in public has played in her life. And I'm going to do my best here to sketch out what she had to say about learning in public, but also bring in a few other ideas from the conversation that I think are connected to it. So Gilbert began by referencing how short the distance is between the time when she learns something new and when she feels the need to share it. Referencing this idea that any talent or wisdom or insight that you don't share actually becomes pain. And I think that the act of learning in public, of sharing your insights, your stories with the world in some way, ties into another piece of this conversation, this idea of compassionate alignment with reality. It's not hard for our thoughts to take us down these delusional pathways that get us away from reality. And my sense is that the act of learning in public, of sharing your stories with others, actually helps you to stay closer to reality, because when you do that type of sharing, I think you're more likely to treat yourself in the way that you would treat a close friend. You're not as hard on yourself when you share with others the lessons that you learned from a particular experience. And yes, that sharing can be a scary thing, but as Gilbert mentioned, you are allowed to feel fear, and you will feel it. But what keeps Gilbert doing creative work is that she's got just 1% more curiosity than fear. That's all it takes. Just a little bit more curiosity. That's all it takes to keep you living a creative life and sharing your creative work with others. The last piece that I found interesting about this discussion of learning in public is how Gilbert doesn't feel responsibility toward readers or followers. Because if she did, that would make it just too heavy for everyone involved. Instead, it's this sense of, here's this path that I'm on and how I am following it, and the creative work that's coming out of it, and you can choose to follow along or not. It's up to you. But it's not my responsibility to please you with my work. And I found that to be a refreshing take. Do keep in mind that these are just a few of the ideas shared within that conversation on the Chase Jarvis Live show, and that they have been filtered through my own understanding and interpretation of those ideas. So I encourage you to go watch or listen to the full conversation. And if you would like to see how these notes came to be, then stay tuned for the next video, because I've been doing my own learning in public on the topic of sketchnoting, of taking visual notes like the ones you see here. If you'd like to explore what that world is all about, then check out the links below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then.